Week 6 build review day. One of my 5 favorite days of the term. So we're going to keep this pretty short. Last night I sent out an email. Lynn has already put it in the agenda for today. There is a website here that you can use to build an icon on probably Monday of next week. I'll be sitting down with Jeremy and we're going to be building a new menu item on the cafe machines that is the summer builds, and we're going to put them up there. So having an icon makes your project stand out. Also keep in mind that whatever you name your EXE this time, I need you to name it the same thing for all the builds after this. So pick something, don't name it like build 2 or build 3 or build 4. Just use that same EXE for the rest of the time. Otherwise we have to reconfigure the entire XML file and re-provision systems, and it's a big pain in the butt. But if we just swap out the EXE, it works fine. So keep that in mind. Other than that, I don't want to talk a lot. I want to get directly to the stuff. So is there anything that I need to hit on? You guys can read through this stuff. E3 was great. I think as far as E3s go, this has been one of the better ones in the last few years. So if you haven't watched some of that coverage, I definitely recommend that you watch it. Not just necessarily for game releases, but for what the industry is doing, right? What trends are you picking up on and different things like that. So I'm going to call my part good.
Okay.
Start tweeting.
You want to talk briefly about the open schedule today?
Yeah. So one of the things that, in the spirit of Scrum, obviously we met on Monday, did some brainstorming. We're starting to compile that information together. A couple of themes came out of that. One is to free up Friday even more than we did for development stuff. So we're going to give that a shot today. Once we clear the build reviews, the day's pretty much yours. We have nothing else scheduled except for work on stuff. And then play test at what, 3:30? I think we've got the play test set for
3:30.
So have your builds in the commons and working so people can play test it. But other than that, we're going to keep this day completely open just so you guys can build stuff. So once we're clear of build reviews, your meeting times are clear. We're not going to do a leads meeting today. We're not going to do discipline meetings today. As always, when we open these days up a little bit more like that, if you need anything, come and get us. We will happily meet with leads, or we'll happily meet with a few people in discipline to help you guys out. But we're not going to do an organized event. Again, just to try to free up the time as much as we can. So, we've heard you. We're not ignoring you. Next week, we'll go back to ignoring you. But this week, positive things are happening. No, actually, we're having a lot of discussions about what we're going to do with Mondays and stuff based off your guys' feedback. So, it definitely was worthwhile. Thank you guys for that, because it's given us some ideas of different things we want to do. All right. She's highlighted mocap today at 12:30.
Yeah.
I think the last time failed horrendously. I just saw Garrett standing outside the mocap room by himself. Like, I told him, well, get in the suit and then record yourself, and he wouldn't do it. So is that happening today?
Yeah, that group who has been meeting for mocap. We're going to meet again today at 12:30. If you are needing mocap for your project, make sure you're in on that. If you at 12:30, be ready. Cameras should be warmed up, so somebody take it upon themselves to go up at noon and flip those on. Hugh, do you have your person here?
Yeah, it's Garrett.
Garrett, where are you, Garrett? There you are. Okay. And yep, don't be late. Fisher, you going to be there today? Mm-hmm. Okay. So if you need to, delegate to another team member if you can't make it out, so they can get the information for your team. All right, and we'll do that.
All right, now we get started.
Yeah.
Going alphabetical today.
First person on the list, come on up.
Turn the camera.
Who's up here?
That's John. Where's John? You're first. Wasn't expecting this.
Well, you're so excited this morning.
Name your project Zookeeper or something if you want to go last.
I might do that. All right.
Tuesday are the toe boots.
All right. So.
That's me.
That's the wrong one. Okay. Hello, my name is John Gavassi. I am the lead designer, or the project lead on Dawn of Dreadnoughts. Today I'm going to be showing you a demo for the Dawn of the Dreadnoughts 1.3 Jericho build. In order to build Dawn of the Dreadnoughts, there are three main systems that are the cornerstones to building an RTS. These cornerstones lay the framework for the entire game. The three main systems are object instantiation, which is used to spawn units and structures, AI and selection, and resources. These are the three systems that will be the core of our development for the rest of the semester. We've made quite a bit of headway when it comes to this, and this is what I'm going to be showing you today. Our number one goal for this sprint was to make it so that we could instantiate objects into the world. This is essential to our game because it is what will be used to allow the player to construct buildings and units within the game space. So if I go here and be like, oh, I want to build turrets, you know, just go in, build, and yeah, right? You'll also notice the number ticking in the top right-hand corner of the screen. This is just another one of the three systems that the team has managed to make headway in, that being the resources. The resource shown is supply. This is what the player will use to construct the buildings and units. So, as we approach the end of the demo, I want to leave you with our new Dreadnought that has been fully blue boxed as it flies through space. So as you can see, a Dreadnought, and yeah.
Good work. Thank you. Who's next?
All right. Ah, there we go. Alright, well, while this boots up, my name is Charles Kozart. I'm the temporary project lead for Gray Area while Donald takes care of some stuff. So for this sprint, we tried to focus on our crash site area because we have three key areas of gameplay we're going to try to get for this vertical slice. The main one being the debris field, which we showed off a little bit of that last milestone. This one's the crash site, and then of course we'll have the main area of Roswell and stuff. I got a main menu system in here. You know, there's no art, but I got some of the functionalities in. So I have options set up. Don't have video or gameplay done yet, but I do have the sound options in here, and it does save. When I save it, it goes back, so that functionality is in there now. As you can see, it stayed where I put it. So in the game itself, a lot of the work we've done is working on the terrain. Our terrain is massive here. So this is where our crash site's going to be. We got a little UFO in here with our gray running around. I was able to clean up some of the jittery movement of the camera for our player controller. The terrain and everything here was done by one of our other designers. We got a few models that we're working on as well, but right now it's just a lot of work working on the terrain and getting some artwork and stuff done and for the build. So there's not a lot of stuff to touch or click on just yet, but hopefully next sprint we'll have a lot more in this area. So that's what we got done for this build. Some other things we have, I just have a real quick presentation for some of the art that we're working on to move into here. It's just some quick pictures. So this is one of the models that we're working on trying to get. This is Kylie. She's working on it as well as with this grass. So once these get finalized, we'll move them into Spree Tree and start getting them built in. Marcos is working on these items. They're devices for healing and extraction of resources. So once those are finished textured and everything, we'll get them in the build. And then we have a inventory system that is in the works that we still have to fully implement into the build. Apparently my video is not working, so I'm not going to play around with it for too long. But it's in progress. We just got to do a little bit more work to get it fully integrated into the rest of the project. So that's what we have.
Plugged it in backwards. Cool beans.
Oh, hello everybody. I'm James Fisher, and I'm project lead for Life or Death. Working title. So what we worked on this build was getting in combos, blocking, art and textures. Yeah, looks good. Look at that butt. Fixing the lock-on when you move so that it doesn't turn all weird. I know he's not moving. There's no animations for it. Getting in rolls and the combos. The combos loop right now. This is the art. Everything, all the artwork we have right now is textured and isn't in, ready to go. And yeah, not really much I can say on that. Bam. Scriptable. My bad. Sorry about that. Completely forgot about that. Scriptable objects.
Hello everyone, I'm Regis Jerry. I am the project lead for Looters of the Arcane. Everything that we focused on for this build was all actual player feedback. So what we had is, like, in the options, we now have our actual control scheme in there. So that way, you know, if we put this up on itch, then they don't have to download a separate document and memorize that. They can actually just go back to the main menu. And then in the Asylum, we did a little bit of feedback, such as the crosshair we got, that's new. And then if you go to reload, now it actually has a bar, so you know exactly how long you have to reload. And then if I can quickly get out of ammo. Now once you have your last clip in, then it'll tell you low ammo. And then once you're actually completely out, switches over telling you that you have no more ammunition left. And then we have the white boxing for Ancient Egypt. This is almost complete, and then we're going to start moving into set design coming up with the next sprint. And then we just have our little test pyramid there just for size and, you know, a general idea of what we're going for. This level is going to be a little bit more open with a lot more traps, and it's going to be more focused on, you know, the player looking at the environment versus interacting with the environment, understanding where the traps are, and understanding, like, how the pressure plate system is going to be working going forward will be something that they need to do. Thank you for your time.
Alright, Jordan Leong here, lead designer for Secretaries in Space, showing off second build iteration. Got a little icon here. Okay, so immediately we actually got some nice background art for the main menu. Very retro. I expect some synthwave music once we get into it. But when we start, you'll notice we actually have the settings bar, which for now it's just kind of just controlling volume. Once we get some music iterated, and then once we get to some other stuff, we'll know what this means. But as we go back, we could play. Let's see. Alright, so once we connect into the lobby, you'll notice we actually have a spot where player names will come up. I was doing this yesterday with our programmer, and saw him in there. Unfortunately, he told me the chat doesn't completely work yet, which I like, no, we want secretaries to interact. But once we get that done, that should be really fun to get some interaction before everyone gets into gameplay. So we have our little test level for now. We were hoping to get some assets in, but a lot of our artists are actually at E3 right now. But that is an opportunity for them to go out and spread the word. But as we go through, pretty pretty open space. This is why I said when we had some assets in, you can imagine a lot of different areas to go with this. But here we have some AI to serve as example. They detected me yesterday. Hold on. Oh god. But yeah, they're aggressive. Now it takes a while for them to start killing them, but wow, that was a group kill. But and that's when the weird stuff happens. They start to just die out. But nonetheless, that just goes to show we actually have online interaction, and the AI is able to detect and follow the player once they see they're a threat. We want it to be able to just come after you immediately. But other than that, that's what we have so far. And thank you for listening.
Hello everybody, I'm Todd, lead designer, or lead for SiegeBots. So this sprint we focused a lot on adding more pieces and replacing some of our placeholder models. So we've got some wheels in. Oh, I put the wrong material on those, but that's what the new wheels model looks like. Get some space here to attach pieces. We've got a new Tesla cannon in. It does area of effect damage and around the area that it fires. Replaced the model for the rotator piece. Looks a lot better. Also replaced the buzzsaw piece. Still not textured or anything, but the shield generator's been replaced. We've added a grapple hook. Can be used to attach to other bots and pull them closer, or to pull yourself towards static environment pieces. And claw piece that can be used to grab onto other enemies. And that's kind of what we've been doing this sprint. John Paul also did a lot of work rewriting how our guns work and different weapon systems, things like that. And Anderson's been crunching a lot of the numbers for balancing and different things of that nature. So, thank you.
Okay. I guess they are both the same. It was supposed to be the video somewhere as well. Who needs the video? Hi, my name is Austin Harrington, team lead for Communication Meltdown. We're going to do something a little bit different today. As you guys know, I've been showing videos for the last 2 semesters, last semester in 2 sprints, because it's very hard to do multiplayer VR live the same way these other teams are able to just launch their builds. We're going to try something different today. So when I ran Call Center Simulator, we used to try and do live streams. We had every problem you could possibly have with a live stream, so we stopped doing them for a while, but it's time we cut our teeth on it. So let's see how this goes. Oh, we are still in the launcher. That's exciting.
Real quick.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, hey, my name is Rocky. I'm the programming lead for Communication Meltdown, and I do take a lot of personal responsibility for how far we haven't gone. I wish we could go farther, but we all know game development is super unpredictable. And I'm really thankful and proud that my team has stayed with me since Monday. We haven't left earlier than 2 a.m. just working and putting out the fires from the merges that we have.
Can we start?
Multiplayer issues and just a million other
please.
things. But I just want to say I'm super thankful for them, and hopefully this goes well.
Thank you, Rocky. Okay, so we are launching into the room now. I believe we have another client creating the room. There it is. So we're going to go ahead and spawn in. We will have 4 players. This is a 4-player game. So we're going to spawn into the lobby. Oh, we're in the bathroom. Hello, bathroom. As you can see, we've got 3 other players, 4 players in total in the environment, just kind of doing their own thing. Can you guys wave at the camera, please? As you can see, we do have interactivity for all the players that we can see on the server. And so this is something that was actually, we got done a lot quicker with Call Center Simulator because of the technology we were using, Spatial OS. It was a little more difficult to get everything synced up with Photon, but I'm really proud of the team for being able to do that. As you can see, we have a placeholder character model in right now. We're working on a new model for that right now. But you can see we've got hands, we've got head tracking, and we can pick stuff up. Can you have Shepard pick something up? Ty? Try a napkin holder or just anything. So one of the things I've learned about streaming is there's a bad delay when you're talking over a stream to a team. And so that's why I'm on the phone. For what it's worth, it's a lot easier. Oh, that's fun. Let's try to pick it up. Okay, it looks like one of our clients, of course the client that we're using right now, can't pick things up for some reason. So that's the nice thing about a live build. We're going to go ahead into the reactor if we can, Tyler. Okay, so right now we are queuing up for our reactor environment. We aren't going to do a full play session, but we will show you kind of how we get in there. For this sprint, we've really been working on testing. We had a bunch of pieces we got in. This is one more thing. We do have some interesting assets in our environment that deal with little jokes and that kind of thing. So that was Platoons of Painters, a book by Carolina Boulder. I feel like it's a fun little reference to Gangs of Graffiti and Dakota. So again, we are in the reactor environment. I believe everyone is taking their places down below, so that we can show that we also are synced in here. Hey, have everyone wave to the camera. Look up at Shepard. Hey, look at that, everyone's waving. So that's what we've got for the live stream. Let me see if I can pull up this video real quick, because we did have one more interesting little piece that I wanted to show off. If I can find it. Tyler, do you know where that video is? Okay, it's somewhere. It's totally not. Okay, let me try one more thing and just see if this is it.
I'm here.
It's not. Do you have any idea where it is? 'Cause I don't. Sorry, guys.
Hi. We've got this. Sorry, guys. Cool.
Okay, thank you. So one more thing we wanted to show that we actually wanted in this build and broke this morning was we did go ahead and, let me just present, create the foundations of our main menu. So this video doesn't fully show it off, but we have, you spawn into the boss room. That's going to be the main menu for this environment. From here, you will be able to create a room using laser pointer and prompts on the screen. Barrett was looking down more than I thought. So as you can see, we can create a room, we can use a keyboard, we can do all that. Likewise, if this weren't the master client, there's a join room button, it'll pull up a lobby list, and you can join a room just by clicking on it. So we feel like this is a more interesting way to present our menu, and we'll continue to iterate on that. Other than that, that is what we've worked on this week. Thank you.
All right, another round of applause for everybody. I'm fairly amused. Good work, everyone. All right, before the session today, by the way, you guys killed the schedule. We're a half an hour early on our delivery. but I'd like to take a couple of minutes to hear some stories from this last week. I've heard a little bit about what happened with some of the teams, but Tyler and Austin and Rocky, you want to talk to us a little bit about your learning experience this week?
Yeah, sure. So we tend to work until the last minute, and that's something we didn't want to do this sprint. Generally, up until now, we have consolidated our builds on Wednesday, gotten a video on Thursday, presented. And that's meant that we work until the 0 hour sometimes or don't sleep on Thursdays because everything breaks. This time we wanted to do something different, so last Saturday we went ahead and merged all our builds, accidentally deleted our development branch, overrode it, lost all of the progress we made this sprint. And so from there it was about getting everything back in. As Rocky said, every night this week from 6 o'clock on, sometimes until 2, 3 in the morning, we have had a substantial portion of our team in there working, testing, getting stuff working again. Clearly we didn't get everything we wanted to show for this sprint. We got a lot more done than I thought we would by Wednesday. So sometimes no matter how early you consolidate your builds for your sprint, everything's going to break. And we did the best we could with what we had. Again, Rocky has kind of led the charge on that. It's been amazing for us.
The team has worked their butts off this week. I am so incredibly proud of them. They've been here until midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning, many nights this week, putting each individual little piece back together again, like Humpty Dumpty.
Sometimes several times.
Many, many times over. So that's game development for you, but I'm super proud of the team.
All right, excellent. You survived. Sometimes it's just about, actually more often, sometimes it's about the learning experience that comes along with doing things or having things go wrong and then sharing back into the studio what you learned. John, you also had an interesting experience. Where are you? Want to share about that?
So our syntax for the build script was broken because we tried to merge and well, you know, GitLab, and it broke our build. So we weren't actually, it was Stu that came in and helped fix it. Then once we got that done, then the scripts weren't working. Then the team came together and fixed the scripts and got in our building and instantiation before we did the final build. And then of course the pro builder broke, so ripped that out. So, yeah.
And John came in bouncing this morning very early because of his elation of actually having a build. So I'm glad that you survived as well. Any other leads want to talk about a story that happened, a learning experience, I should say? Jerry.
We managed to break our entire main level. The Asylum, we actually didn't have it for about 3 days. And it was both our main Asylum and we also have a test Asylum to just go and throw stuff in there and see if it breaks anything. And somehow we managed to break both versions where every time we loaded in, it crashed the entirety of Unity.
Wonderful.
And it also started to do some interesting things like making our prefabs invisible. So we made a separate branch from last week and then just ended up plugging everything in throughout the week that we wanted to put in the build. So it was a lot of dragging small pieces, putting it in, seeing if it broke everything.
So walking through step by step. Oh, wonderful. I'm sure you all have your stories, your learning experiences that you could share. And in very short order, in the next couple of weeks, I'll be coming around with a video camera just on the spot. You can share back and we'll add to our kiosk of best practices and what not to do and what to do. So be prepared for that. Milestone review today. Don't forget that you've got an assignment. Be heard, every single one of you. Make sure that you're chiming in there for your review and retrospective. You also have sprint planning today. So leads, make sure you update your OPPMs and you get those into the discussion thread for leads so we don't have to call that meeting today at some point. Make sure that you communicate very clearly what it is that you're going to be working on. Pivots today, based on your learning experience. Being a Scrum house, we want to make sure that you have that opportunity. So if you are going to deviate from your original plan, now's the time to communicate that. Any other additions? All right, go make games. We'll see you at 3:30 for play testing on the floor.